This is Mondo. I sculpted Mondo and created him. He's a marionette, or was a marionette. You don't stop being a marionette, I don't know. But his controls are off and the string, I unstrung him. I carved him at UConn for Mr. Ballard's marionette class back in, I think it was 1989 or 90. And it was a great class, and we didn't have to carve a marionette if we didn't want to. But my challenge, I felt, was that I would make a marionette like they did before power equipment. Before power equipment, the joints on the marionettes probably were made out of leather. You can see how this joint is ripping, and one of the elbow joints is gone. The knee and ankle joints also were made out of leather, and I have tried to replace the joints with string joints, and because the carving was made to be used with leather joints, there was an issue. I did not want to destroy the sculpt, the carving, so I didn't want to replace the knee joints or the legs with new legs, which is what you probably should have done. The hair is a wig I made, but that's not the important part of this. You see, without power equipment, I would have had to have a long drill to drill that hole that goes straight through the head and into the trunk. You can see the thread there is twisted. It should be braided, really. There are better threads that I could have used. The center line comes through the trunk and goes into the hip. So there's one string that goes from the top of the head through the entire body into the hips. Attaching the torso to the hips requires some stabilizing threads or stringing. So the center string is flanked by two stabilizing strings. So it doesn't have to twist all the way around 360. There's some control over the torso. The top of the legs, where the legs meet the hips, are made with leather joints. This leather did not rip off. It was very thick leather. It's connected with staples and some epoxy. As I said, I made a mistake in trying to repair the knee and ankle joints for these legs, which I should have just carved. But I truly believed I could have gotten them to a working order again. They never truly worked because they were far too loose, and the groove for the leather was fragile, so it would break if I drilled into it. And that's what you get with poor conservation. And I have had the pleasure of working with Margot Rose on this figure for the costuming. The same year that Margot passed away, I was hired by National Theatre of the Deaf to do Peer Gynt, and he had a role in a Share Day performance as a swimming puppet in a little play that we devised with the music of Genji Ito. 1997, August of 1997, that's when he last performed. Is there anything you want to say about yourself and your biography? I mean, you were built and named for the character in a book, in a novel by J.M.G. Clézio called Mondo. And Mondo in the book was a boy of, I think, North Africa, and kind of an orphan wandering. So that's his character. Anything else? No?